PS 220 volts alternating current 10/3 wire running through walls and into a breaker box can indeed share the same hole. Also, insulated wires are permitted to lay next to each other for short distances. However, you must observe key guidelines to ensure safety and compliance with electrical codes. Firstly, consider derating factors. When multiple insulated wires are bundled together, the current carrying capacity of each wire is reduced. This is because the bundled wires generate heat and the close proximity hinders heat dissipation. To compensate for this, you need to apply a derating factor. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifically Table 310.15 CON, provides derating factors based on the number of current carrying conductors in a raceway, cable, or earth. Consult this table to determine the appropriate derating factor for your specific situation. For example, if you have 4 to 6 current carrying conductors bundled together, the allowable ampacity of each conductor might need to be reduced to 80% of its original value. This means that if your 10-gauge wire is normally rated for 30 amps, you would need to reduce its allowable ampacity to 24 amps. Secondly, maintain adequate spacing. Insulated wires generate heat during operation, and proper spacing allows for heat dissipation. The NEC recommends a minimum spacing of 1/4 inch between insulated wires. While this may not always be practical in all situations, strive to maintain as much spacing as possible to minimize heat buildup. If the wires are tightly packed, the heat will not dissipate effectively, potentially leading to overheating and insulation damage. Thirdly, use conduit or cable trays where appropriate. For longer distances or in areas where the wires may be exposed to moisture or physical damage, using conduit or cable trays is highly recommended. Conduit provides a protective enclosure for the wires, shielding them from physical damage, moisture, and other environmental factors. Cable trays offer a convenient way to support and route multiple cables, keeping them organized and protected. Using conduit or cable trays can also simplify future wiring modifications or additions. There are additional considerations to keep in mind, as well. The wires should be properly secured to prevent movement and chafing. Secure the wires using cable ties, clamps, or other approved methods. This will prevent the wires from rubbing against each other or against the surrounding structure, which could damage the insulation and create a safety hazard. Use wire nuts or other approved connectors to join the wires together securely. Proper connections are essential for ensuring reliable electrical performance and preventing loose connections, which can lead to overheating and arcing. Inspect the wires regularly for any signs of damage or deterioration. Look for cracks, cuts, or discoloration in the insulation. If you find any damage, replace the wires immediately. Regular inspections can help identify potential problems early on, before they become serious safety hazards. In summary, when running 220 volts alternating current 10/3 wire through walls and into a breaker box, it is permissible for the wires to share the same hole, and insulated wires can lay next to each other for short distances. But remember, you must always use derating factors, maintain spacing, use conduit or cable trays, secure the wires properly, and inspect the wires regularly. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation.